Excited to be in the tournament. Really happy for our players, proud of our players. Been a very long, challenging season, and our guys have handled it great. We've played well most of the year. Minus the couple weeks there with the COVID number one. And this is a great reward for our players for all their hard work, their togetherness, and their performance. We had a really good season, and I think we were rewarded with a good seed, and we got a very good opponent. So we're looking forward to representing the ACC and Clemson in the tournament. So excited to get going, and looks like we may be going tomorrow. So that's all I know. Questions?
Coach Joe Gorcho in Columbia here. How does experience for the two seniors help this program going into this type of environment? Granted, it's going to be unique in terms of its format with the bubble-like nature, but how does having two guys who have been there and know the pressures of the stage help this group handle this moment?
It helps a little bit. I think sometimes that can be a little overblown, to be honest. But as much as anything, I think it helps, guys understand, what a neat deal this is. It's an unbelievable experience, and it's going to be different. So I think we're all eager to just see what Indianapolis is going to be like, to be honest with you. And it is going to be different, so it's going to be hard for those guys to relate. I think it's, it's an exciting time. It's a fun time, and just trying to encourage your team to be focused on the job and the responsibilities. The teams you're playing are all really good. They're all teams that have had good seasons. They've got really good players, and a lot of times these games come down to a couple possessions. So you got to understand that you really need to play well throughout, and that the details of the game really matter. So I think just reinforcing those kinds of things is very valuable in terms of having older players around.
Brad, this is Matt. Is a 7 seed about what you were expecting, and do you feel like that's fair with what you guys got?
Yeah, absolutely. And it kind of was what I was expecting. We beat 3 teams that won conference championships. A lot of people didn't follow Morehead State. We kept telling everybody, hey, Morehead State's good. They got some good players. They won 20 out of 21 games after they left. So that was a great win for us. Obviously, everybody knew that saw what Alabama did if you followed them after playing us. I mean, they had an unbelievable season, won the regular season and the SEC. Purdue ended up having a great year, and I think finished fourth or fifth in the Big Ten, and did some tremendous things. And then we beat, a lot of really good teams in our league. So we had a stretch there where we had 10 days or 2 weeks or whatever it was where we didn't play well, but, we regrouped and did a lot of nice things. And I think, our resume shows that this is about where we should be. And I think that's what the committee saw as well. So yeah, we're happy with it, and, excited to play a very good Rutgers team.
Coach Todd Summers with WSPA TV. What is winning in this tournament like? Just the way the guys get behind each other, and the momentum, and how it starts to build. And can you carry anything that you learned from San Diego and share that with this group of guys, and find some similarities from the success you had out there?
I hope so. And maybe the seniors can talk to the players about that. Just, we've reflected back on it, the last couple of weeks of what that experience was like, and how those are life memories you're making, really. And that's, you're making it with your buddies that you're competing with and practicing with every day. And the opportunity to play in this tournament is, it's hard. It's hard to get here. I think it's way more challenging now than it's ever been, especially for high majors that aren't the blue bloods. I think, there's just so many schools now, a lot that don't have football, that pour everything into their programs, that, have really good coaches, pay their coaches a lot of money. They all fly private. They're all their teams and games are on TV with all the cable packages now in all these leagues. And so it makes it, there's more and more schools that expect to go, and but it's really hard. And so you're very appreciative of your team and proud of your kids when you do go. And then when you go, if you can win some games, I mean, you're creating lifetime experiences and memories. We talk about the San Diego trip a lot. Those two games were incredible, and even the Kansas game up in Omaha. Magic Johnson was in the first row right behind our bench at Creighton there when we played Kansas in the first round game there in the Sweet 16, and our guys joked about how that was a big deal to them. So these are just really cool life experiences for your guys, and you're just really happy that they get to be a part of something like this.
Hey, Brad, it's Phil Kornblut. You've talked during the season about the mental and physical drain the players have suffered through with the COVID and everything. Getting this bid now and going to the tournament, do you sense new juice in the guys, new energy, new enthusiasm?
I hope so. Yeah, I do. I hope so. We've been good the last couple of days. Obviously, we were down after our ACC tournament loss. Didn't play quite as well as we would have liked. Thought Miami played well, made some tough shots. But being able to know that you were in the NCAA tournament and to come back and have a couple of days of practice and just kind of lick your wounds and kind of recharge and talk about, hey guys, we're going to get another opportunity. That was great. And I do sense a lot of enthusiasm and excitement. It is going to be different though. It's going to be, it's going to be strange. Like, we fly into Indianapolis and then you basically go sit in a hotel room for 24 hours, wait to take 2 tests. And test negative twice before you almost can come out of your room. So it's not going to be the same. It's a little bit unfortunate because, staying at a hotel with your fan base and families and them cheering you as you go to a game, come home from a win, encourage you, just seeing all the balloons and everything and the atmosphere inside your hotel and going to practices and shoot arounds. The guys we're going to miss it. The older guys are going to miss it because they know what it was like. The new guys won't really know any different, but I'm sure there'll be some really cool things about Indianapolis. And today was great just to hear your name called and for us to sit there together and really reflect on what we have accomplished so far, especially during the regular season. Very rewarding. And our guys were talking about what it was like waiting the last time, a couple years ago when we were waiting to find out where we went. So a lot of cool stuff.
Hey, Coach, Trevor Gross from CUTargets.com. I don't know how much you've been able to see of Rutgers this season. Beat Illinois early in the season, and pretty formidable backcourt there with Ron Harper Jr. and Jacob Young. But is it fun or I guess just refreshing to be able to prepare for a different team that doesn't know you don't know them, they may not know your tendencies, like the ACC teams that you play over and over?
Yeah, a little bit. I mean, it's nice to compete against somebody else. But both teams will quickly be familiar with a lot of what the other team does. They'll know us pretty well. There's plenty of time to get to know Clemson, and we've got plenty of time to try to get to know Rutgers. And so that part, it'll be about players making plays, guys making shots, being able to control their emotions, being in big games and handling all that's involved with that. But it is a little bit, exciting to play somebody different. I've seen Rutgers, bits and pieces here, watching on the Big Ten Network, and experienced guys, a team that's going to be very hungry, very physical, very good defensively, change defenses a little bit. Geo Baker's another guy that's a really good player. They got a good big man inside, great hands, great shot blocker. Like, I don't know what he's like, 6'11". He's got tremendous wingspan and presence around the basket area defensively. And Steve's done an unbelievable job there. They were going to the tournament last year. So they've got guys that are used to winning. And they're going to be juiced because they didn't get to go last year and they haven't been in a while. So this is a big moment for them, and we should be excited for our guys. It'll be some of our guys' first time. So really kind of neat for two schools like Rutgers and Clemson to be playing in the first round.
Brad, Larry Williams here. What was your What was your immediate reaction when you heard about the games getting canceled last week in the ACC?
Tournament.
Yep.
You know, a little bit of surprise, but also a little bit of like, hey, we kind of knew this stuff could happen. Scared me with our team. You know, it frightens you. And then just being here the last couple of days, waiting, you know, to, you know, hopefully get our name called and then go to Indianapolis and kind of get there and get in the bubble and get set. I mean, it's unnerving. Every day waiting for the trainer to give you the thumbs up. We're all good sign. But, you know, not a complete surprise that, you know, it happened Kansas and Virginia and all those kinds of things it's unfortunate because you feel bad for the kids on the teams that want to play in big games. But, you know, I guess a little bit, I think coaches were worried about that could happen. I'm just glad it didn't seep in and affect other schools because that would have been, you know, really damaging.
Does it make you feel, I mean, you mentioned how regimented things are going to be in Indy. Does it make you feel better that it's going to be more of an authentic bubble, I guess, than it was when you were sort of riding the elevators down with random people, the ACC?
Yeah, I hope so. You know, you just want it to be a good experience for the kids. Man, these guys pour their hearts out and the amount of work and hours. And this is, again, these are those life memories that I talked about, you know, that these kids are creating. And you just want it to be an experience that they enjoy, right? And you don't want it to be like, hey, you guys can't leave your room ever. You know what I mean? Like you're just sitting up, we're going tomorrow, you won't play till Friday. That's, you're a little, I'll be a little nervous about you just kind of leaving your game in the hotel room, to be honest with you. Like it's already, I mean, the ACC tournament was different now. It was weird with very few people in the stands and you're playing in a 20,000 seat arena. It was different. And, you know, obviously it could be like that a little bit in the NCAA tournament. I know there'll be a little bit more fans, I think, which is good. But it's, you know, I just want the kids to have a good experience. Obviously winning a game to start would be great just to kind of get into the tournament and, you know, be excited about advancing. But up until that time, I don't want it to be so regimented that it you know, they don't enjoy any of the experience.
Brad, this is Reggie at WLTX TV. I know the reason you're in Indianapolis is obviously not what you want, but you did play ball about an hour from there. Going back to your home state, just a little bit about that.
Well, certainly, I would rather it be we're going wherever, you know what I mean? Like San Diego again and doing a normal tournament. But if that can't be what we're doing, then going back to Indianapolis, that's a great thing for me. Obviously, I've already gotten hit up by a lot of friends for tickets and just, you know, I'm familiar with a lot of the arenas and be cool to take my team to some of those places and play. And I think Indianapolis, you know, does it right. I think it's probably the best place to have a Final Four when you have one there. I think the hotels and everything logistically are great. I know it's going to be different, but I would suspect it's going to be an unbelievable experience with, you know, easier for the NCAA because they're there. And obviously just to go back to my home state is a lot of fun to take your team back there and see how you do. But I've already gotten hit up by a lot of folks, family and friends, you know, some asking for tickets and some just encouraging and excited to watch our team.
Brad, I don't not to ask you to reflect on Amir's career before it's over or anything like that, but just him being a part of the first NCAA tournament as a freshman a few years ago and now leading you guys back, just what has he meant to this program and how cool is it for him to get to play in this?
Well, it's a neat experience. And I'm, you know, very proud of him. He's had an unbelievable career. He's been a great leader and worker and, you know, tremendous player and happy for Clyde, you know, guys that kind of started it, you know, their freshman year and get to be a part of something really special like a Sweet 16 run and then to capitalize in their senior year. You know, I talk to these guys every time that your senior year is the year you're going to remember the most, and you hope it's a good one. because that's the one that you probably have the biggest impact on the team as a player, both in terms of your productivity, but also your voice and the younger players listening to you, watching you way more than you realize. And I think that's something that, it's been really interesting to watch the young players, especially our young big guys, watching Amir every day. And, I sometimes have to remind our young big guys, you guys didn't see Amir as a freshman. He wasn't playing like this. He didn't understand half the stuff that he understands now. He was just like you guys. He was struggling in all the same areas you were struggling, good days and bad days. Like Amir had a game or two as a freshman where he got a DNP and didn't play. And but he's a great person to look at and follow and model because of, his mentality, his approach, his maturity, his work ethic to what you can be if you're talented and you apply yourself, at the highest of levels. And so I think that part's been really neat to watch that with our younger players.
Brad, when you have so much time that will have gone by between games after a disappointing performance, do you have to be sort of delicate with your messaging? Like you don't want to just beat them over the head with it nonstop and sort of have the right balance, I guess.
Yeah. And, we didn't play terrible. I think, like I said after the game, we played Miami 3 times. There were, 2 of the games were 1 possession. 1 of the games was 3 possessions. Like it was going to be a close game. And offensively, we played really well in the first half. They made some adjustments. We didn't play as well in the second half. Some of that's on me. Some of it's on players making plays. We got to get some things done. They made a lot of hard shots and, and then they played better down the stretch and coached better and beat us. But there were things we certainly didn't do what we wanted to do. And so we watched the film and went through it, a couple of days later. And, the guys didn't really like it, but we did it because I knew that's what we need to do to continue to teach and coach and get better. And, we've had good practices since then. But, I kind of told our guys, really the message I told them after the game, I was pretty disappointed and I was demanding with them right after the game at the ACC tournament because we should have won the game. And we did not get it done. And, we should all feel bad for that. It's not okay to lose that game. And, we marinated on that for a while and went back to the hotel and, it was very quiet for several hours and just nobody was too happy and I didn't want them to be happy. And then later that night we had kind of our late snack and I told the guys that was the time that the morning should end. Like it's okay to talk and joke around a little bit that you guys are a team that is going to be rewarded for all your hard work and sacrifice this year and you're going to make the NCAA tournament. And while that loss should not be forgotten and we need to learn from it, and we're going to watch the film when we get back in a couple of days and really analyze it, and that's not going to be fun. I don't want us to just sulk for 2 days. I don't want us to have a miserable ride back. I don't want us to, we're going to get past it. And I think there's an appropriate amount of time that when you don't perform well and you don't do your job, that there is an appropriate amount of time to understand that, reflect on it. And sometimes you got to make your kids understand that, everybody's quick to get on their phone and kind of, the old school days of you just sit in the back of the bus and nobody talks and you ride on the bus for 3 hours and just kind of deal with it because there's nothing else. You can't get away. That's almost over now because you get on your phone and just escape. And so we had our little brief period of mourning, but then I was quickly trying to get our guys to get past it and reflect on all the good things we've done as well. And we've done a lot of good things and they're to be rewarded for that. So that's what we've tried to do the last couple of days.
Hey, Coach, it's Trevor again. Al is from New Jersey. Do you know if Rutgers recruited him very hard, and is he excited about facing a team from his home state?
Yeah, I don't know how hard they recruited him. He'll be excited about the game, obviously. I think one of the kids, Mulcahy, I think might have played some with him on some AAU stuff. He's a good player, tough kid, really knows how to play, very skilled. But obviously he'll be excited about playing somebody, that's his home state school. There's no question that'll be fun for him.
He in your last 2 losses, he only shot the ball 10 times. He shot a good percentage, was 6 for 10 in those 2 games. Would you like to see him try to be more aggressive offensively?
Sometimes, but it's not as easy as you think. I mean, he's not he's a smaller guard. It's not as easy like for him to jump up and shoot over Isaiah Wong as it is for Isaiah Wong to jump up and shoot over Al. I mean, that's the way they're made. And so it's not quite as easy for those guys to create their own shots all the time. They can do it a little bit, but it's more challenging. It's more difficult. That's one of the things that the Miami guards, and I mean, heck, Miami almost beat Georgia Tech the next night, because McGusty was unbelievable. They've got 2 guys that can just do that. And so those guys can take 15 to 18 shots in a game. There's a lot of teams that can't do that. I'll tell you this, Rutgers got a couple guys that can do it. Geo Baker can do it. Jacob Young can do it. They've got bigger guards that can create their own shots and make difficult shots. And that's going to be a handful for us to guard those guys.
Brad, Matt, again, you talked about it a little bit, but can you share anything else just about logistically kind of what things will look like for the next few days?
Yeah, I don't know a lot other than I know we're going to get there, and I think we've got to pass 2 tests within 12 hours. Maybe can't be any closer than 12 hours, I think is what it is. So we'll get there and test right away. Probably go into, kind of some sort of isolation into your rooms for a while, get the results back, and then hopefully wake up the next day, test again early Tuesday morning, I would hope, and get good results back again, and then Tuesday afternoon go practice. So, but we'll have to wait and see. But I think that's kind of what logistics are going to look like the next couple of days.
What are they allowing in terms of meetings? And are y'all going to be able to?
Not right away. I don't think so. I think until you get those 2 tests, I think things are, pretty. You're pretty isolated.
Any more questions for Coach?
Okay.
Congrats.
Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you, Brad.
Yep.